Chapter 1 Number System. In that exercise 1.5, it's a question number 2. Simplify. First, in that we are given 3 plus root 3 and another bracket 2 plus root 2. Okay. This we are given in one bracket, this we are given in two bracket. If you remember nicely, my dear students, in class 8, we have multiplied two brackets. Okay. As we have multiplied, I taught you how to multiply two brackets. So, very simple, very easy. Look at your screen. First time, you need to hide this portion. Okay, hide that much portion, and only 3 is here. And now this side here, 2 plus root 2. Fine. Now next time, plus root 3, because student used to forgot to write this plus sign. We need to write here along with the plus sign. Okay. So here it is 2 plus root 2. Here. Now let's work out how to go with that. Then we know that we need to multiply 3 by 2. 3 2 ja 6. What about this? This is 3 root 2 plus root 3 into 2, it gives the result 2 into root 3, 2 root 3. Plus, what about this? Because it is new for you. Look at your screen. Root 3 into root 2. Root 3 into root 2 gives the result under root of 3 2 ja 6. We need to multiply. Okay. This step you must keep it in a mind. When we multiply two irrational number, then we have to take the product of theirs in the square root. So 3 2 ja 6 here in square root. So you can see none of the term is similar or a like term here. So here you can see 3 root 2, 2 root 3. Suppose here we are given 2, then we can work out on these two terms. Suppose we are given 3 here, then these two terms will become similar. We can work out upon that. But here it's not like that. Okay. So all these terms you can see here, all the 4 terms which we are gaining here after simplification, there isn't any connection among them. Right? So let it be as it is. Let's work out on the second question. The question is 3 plus root 3 and 3 minus root 3. Okay. Now we have to apply identity here, which we have studied in class 8, chapter 9. There we studied 4 identities. Here you can see, if I compare this with A and this is B, then of course I know I have one identity. This identity is resembled with this identity. You see, A plus B, A minus B equal to. That is, I taught you it is third identity. Okay. So A plus B, A minus B, that is A square minus B square. Fine. So what we have to do here? Same procedure. As the result is with us, we know that. So here we will write A square minus B square. And according to the question, our A is 3. You can see A is 3. And what is B? That is root 3. Fine. Now we know 3 square is 9. And what about root 3 square? Always remember, dear student, root 3 whole square. This root 3 square root will go on. It will be cancelled, but we should not write here like that. But square root of any square, square root of square root and square, that all together given, then it will be cancelled. So here we will have only 3. So 9 minus 3, that is 6. So the answer is 6. Okay. Let's work out on the third idea. Third, what we are given in the third. Let's check. The question is, let me write it here. The answer of this 6 I am writing here. Okay. Now let's work out on the third. According to the question, the third we are given is under root 5 plus under root 2 whole square. This is also an identity. That the identity is of perfect square. If you remember, this is the square. So which identity we are going to apply here? Identity of perfect square. We know a plus b whole square equal to, the identity says a square plus 2ab plus b square. Please remember, because we are going to use the same identity in chapter 2 polynomial. Again and again we are going to use. Full chapter is full of with this identity. There also first I will discuss and clarify all the identities before we go inside the chapter deeply. But for a while you remember, you just recall this identity, a plus b whole square equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So if I ask you, according to this, if I work out, then a must be root 5 and b must be root 2. Fine. So the equation will be, this expression will become, if I put its a value here, then this will become like this. Okay, that is just similar, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now what is the value of a here? You can see that is root 5. Here also a, root 5. What is b? That is root 2. What is b? Root 2. So root 5 square, as I taught you, root 3 square is 3. So root 5 square will be 5 only. Here 2 into. Now as I taught you here, multiplication, root 3 into root 2 is root 6. So root 5 into root 2. 5 to the 10. So here I need to write under root 10. The multiplication of these two is root 10. And of course root 2 whole square, it gives the result 2. Now here you can see we have similar terms. Which two terms are similar? First is 5 and another is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7, and here it is 7 plus 2 root 10. So this is the solution. Simple. 5 plus 2 is 7 and this 2 root 10. These questions are quite easy. Okay. So up to here clear. Now we'll work out on third. Okay. Let's go with the third. Make yourself ready for that. Okay. Be ready. We are going with next. That is third we have done. Now we will work out on fourth, right? What is the fourth? That already we have done. Now go with the fourth. Okay. The question says under root 5 minus under root 2, and in another bracket also under root 5 plus under root 2. Now be a keen observer, my dear students. You can observe here clearly again the same identity, just similar as we have done the third identity, which we call a minus b and a plus b. A is similar, b similar. Between them only sign are different. So a minus b, a plus b, of course it gives the result a square minus b square. Okay, so let's work out upon that. So if I ask you to apply this same thing for these two numbers, so square of this number and square of another number, a square minus b square. As we know, the value of a is root 5 here, and of course the value of b is root 2. We know that root 5 square, it is 5, root 2 square is 2, and of course 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is the solution. I hope it's clear very nicely. All these sums are very easy. Okay. Chapter 1, exercise 1.5. It's the question number 3. I'm reading the question here. Recall pi is defined as the ratio of the circumference, say C, of a circle to its diameter, say D. That is pi equal to CD. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. How will you resolve this contradiction? Okay. Some of the students may have the good idea about the value of circumference. We have studied the circumference of a circle is defined by C, and it is generally we know that we are using that 2 pi r. Okay, and as we know that the another way we can write, because 2 into r, we know 2 into r, that is already d. 2r equal to d. So we need to write here this is pi and the value of 2r. This 2r in place of d, because we know that diameter is just double than the radius. Always remember, dear student, diameter is double than the radius. So sometimes we are using this formula also whenever we are given directly the diameter and we want to find C circumference. Here C is, you can mention here where C is circumference. C is the circumference and C completed, and D is the diameter. Okay. Now, what is the question? Let me clarify you. This we know. This has been clarified to you. Now, if I ask you to make a subject to pi here, in this, if I in this C equal to pi d. Okay. If I ask you to make a subject to this pi, so pi will be pi equal to that, it will become C by d. Fine. Means when we divide in words, we can say that when we divide circumference by diameter, when we divide circumference with denominator, then we will get the value of pi. Okay, at that time we will get the value of pi. Now let's write all these things in words. Okay, so please, here you need to mention everything. There is no contradiction. Everything in detail I am making you write. So please write down starting from here. There isn't any contradiction, or you can say there is no contradiction. Contradiction means opposition. Okay, means opposite what we want to prove, and this result is coming something else. Prediction, contradiction. I am writing here. Contradiction, because when we measure, reason behind that, because when we measure, actually when we measure individually, okay, what we are going to measure, the length. When we measure a length, what we are using, we are generally using our scale, so by a scale. Okay, when we are measuring the scale using the, when we are measuring the length by using a scale or any other gadgets, whatever is, so many spherometer available, vernier scales available. When you go in 12th class, you will study regarding this thing. So many materials for the measuring we are using. This say that we only get an approximate value. Okay, the very important result we are gaining here, when we are measuring with a scale or any gadgets, you can write, or any gadgets, or any gadgets which we are using as a measuring purpose, then we can say we only get approximate value. We only get approximate, XIMATA, approximate. Okay, MATE, approximate value. Now if we get approximate value, so we may not realize that either C or D is irrational. So we may not, here I am writing rest of this sentence, we may realize. Okay, what we may realize, so we need to mention REALIZED. We may realized, what we realize, the either C, realize only, either C, what is C, circumference, either C or D. It is not, we can't decide, either C or D irrational. Okay, means out of these two, we are not able to say which one is irrational. Okay, so this is the solution of question number